up, I can purge it out of my neck and from my wrist seals. Spring runoff has begun. The rivers are swollen and the gravels are moving. Gold is shifting around and hopefully being replenished into the river systems. Today I'm going to be testing out a new dry suit, so I figured I'd give you guys a quick rundown of the necessities you need for high alpine mountain cold water dredging, sniping, just playing around in the waters. So the rivers we dredge in are typically between 20 degrees Fahrenheit and at the warmest maybe close to 70 degrees on the hottest couple days now of the summer, that is. Comfortable, warm, and productive, you're gonna need protection. And in this case, you're gonna need a dry suit, wetsuit. I personally have an allergic reaction to neoprene, so I have to wear a dry suit. I can't wear a wetsuit for more than 2 or 3 hours without becoming extremely itchy. So my only option is a dry suit. So my old dry suit has somewhere around 110 dives on it. So that's pretty much 110 days of use and abuse, throwing around boulders, slithering along the bottom of the river. And for all practical purposes, it's held up fairly well, but this one's done for. It has the sock booties, which I actually prefer because you can wear hiking boots. These are fly fishing boots, and the reason I like them is because they provide more ankle support and stability. Slick rocks, they have toe protection from boulders crushing your toes. Now I actually really like this combo, but you can see how severely I've worn these. These have 1.5 seasons of use on them. And I imagine they have maybe 1.5 more. Now with wetsuits, your feet are bare and you have to wear a wetsuit tight bootie. Now these work, they keep your feet warm, but they're prone to ripping in all these places and they don't provide any real protection. You know, if a boulder falls on your toe, you're screwed. Same with your ankle, and that's the reason why I prefer these high top real protective boots. These dry suits typically range from, on the low end, from $800 to well over $2,000. I just found this wetsuit slightly used. It's a $2,000 wetsuit. I picked it up for a little over $100, and I'm hoping that it'll suit my purposes. So this new wetsuit is a 6mm compressed neoprene. It has a more durable fabric. Now the biggest difference is that this suit has latex seals, the wrists and the neck. You know, they go on fairly easy, they come off fairly easy. I just don't know how durable they will be. A lot of people prefer this, where I don't. It has attached boots, so I can't wear my heavy boots. I have to wear these that, in my opinion, don't afford a whole lot of protection. Now after you have your protective main gear, boots, in this case a dry suit, you're also going to need a high quality diving mask. I prefer the ones with glass side windows so you can see on your periphery. Let's say you're down in a hole and a boulder's coming down this way, you can usually see it out of the corner of your eye with these wide lens goggles. You're also going to need neoprene gloves. In this case I have 7mm. I use these ones on the coldest days, and in the warmer times of the summer I use, you know, simply these types of cheap Atlas gloves, which I go through maybe 5 pairs in the summer. You're also going to need a diving hood to protect your head, and this is the one I use. It's treated me fairly well, and I'm going to keep using it. Snorkel is always handy to have on hand in case your compressor dies or something happens with your air system. And to keep yourself down at the bottom of the river where the gold's hiding, you're going to need weight. And in this case, I have a shoulder harness rigged up with weights around the waist, a couple on my back and a couple on my chest. Now I need this much weight because we're in ridiculously turbulent rivers. Now I need this much weight to keep me down efficiently. The neoprene, and especially the dry suits, the neoprene dry suits are extremely buoyant, so you need a lot of weight to keep you hugging down on the river bottom, just like a fish would. The faster the water is, the more weight you'll need as well. Now I carry a tremendous amount of weight to keep me down and also efficient once I am down. You really don't want to be fighting the current or having to pull your head up or what have you for hours on end at the bottom of the river, because it's going to wear you out and you're going to get less gold. Another option for a weight belt, you have the standard purple one here. Now the problem with this is it doesn't hold enough weight for me and they wear out fairly easily. Now if I use this on a regular basis, my neck would hurt, I probably couldn't stay on the bottom, and I would guaranteed thrash the heck out of this. Look at these lead weights, what kind of beating they take. And this is being relatively careful with my equipment. It's just when you're dredging, you're working, you want to get the gold, you got to be efficient, and you need your gear to work for you. And this setup has worked the best for me. Before I forget, as far as wetsuits go, you're going to need a minimum 5mm to 7, 8, or 9mm thickness in neoprene. Now the 7mm wetsuits are perfect for the entire year, in my opinion, in these types of waters. With the dry suits, you can go with the thin trilams, the compressed, which require a lot more insulation. Essentially, you're gearing up like you're going snow skiing. Long underwear, thermals, thick socks, sometimes puffy down vests and these sorts of things with the trilams, which is part of the reason why I prefer the compressed neoprene. They provide a little more protection. They might not be quite as durable, however, they are much, much warmer than the trilaminates. I'd love to try a good quality, heavy-duty commercial trilaminate someday. If anybody wants to send me one to test, I certainly will. We've searched high and low, and this is the calmest spot of river we can find. So if I lose traction up there, and suck down to the current, this is where I'm going. Trouble with wrist seals, neoprene or latex, just dip them in the river, get your hand and your wrist wet before you slide them on. So I have a loop here up to my truck. I should be able to zip her shut. So if I'm further from the vehicle, what I do is I put a T-post, bang it in the ground, the bolt's sticking out, and I do that same thing there. Not sure what I'm getting into here. I'll let you guys take a peek first. Will it be alright? Let's find out.
Ooh, that water is cold. It's murky down there. I don't know what you guys will be able to see. And I'll hold my hands in the air. That way all the air that's trapped inside the suit will get pushed up. I can purge it out of my neck and from my wrist seals. So let's hope this works. Tougher to purge. I'll have to practice that one.
Out of the water and I'm mostly dry. You can see my right bicep is wet here. Now, I think I got one bad seal on the wrist, which will be fairly easy to replace. Now, the biggest thing I noticed is those booties. The integrated booties are nowhere near as sturdy or strong as my over boots. And that was the first thing I noticed when I stepped into the river. You can feel every single boulder underfoot, which some people might like. I personally like to blaze along like a maniac when I'm dredging, and you know, my feet, boots, you know, even my daily boots, it's a tool. You know, if you're sure-footed, you can work that much more quickly and efficiently. In my mind, having the boots is pretty key, and maybe that's why, you know, I consistently dredge a lot faster than a lot of my other dredging buddies. Sure-footedness is really important, and going from hard boots to these integrated boots, huge difference, and I like the over boots much better. So there you have it, first swim of the season. Boy, is that water cold. This new use suit, I think it's gonna work for getting in the water here right quick, and I'll keep my eyes peeled for a similar suit with sock booties so I can wear my over boots, which are a lot sturdier, stronger, and give you that sure-footedness that you need. So we'll see you soon. When the engine's fired up and the nozzles are sucking, we're getting gold. Till then.